Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm Miles Sullivan, Director of the United Steelworkers Union, District 6, which is the district for Ontario and the Atlantic provinces. I'm pleased to be speaking to you today from the traditional territory of many nations, land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. In particular, we acknowledge that we are on the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. This land is covered by Treaty 13, signed by the Mississaugas of the Credit and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississauga and Chippewa bands. This territory is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We are grateful and we are honored to work and live on this land. And I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining our first edition of News at 6 Live. I hope you'll enjoy it and that you'll continue to be part of this effort to inform and engage members about our union's activities in District 6. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I first became a steelworker over 25 years ago, the day I got a union job at Falconbridge Nickel Mines in Sudbury. It's now called Glencore. Many mediations, negotiations, strikes, and lockouts later, I'm honored to be the new director for District 6, the largest district in our international union. After so many years of seeing what we as workers go through and fighting for our rights at every turn, I'm deeply invested in living up to the responsibilities of this new role, and I'm humbled by the trust that you've put in me, so thank you very much for that. I want to congratulate and a shout out to Brother Marty Warren. Congratulations, Marty, for becoming the new Canadian National Director. I'm really looking forward to working with you. I'm looking forward to working with the entire Canadian and the international leadership team in order to advance the interests of our members, because I know that together we'll be moving our union forward, and we are lucky to have such a strong and committed group forging ahead for us all. I'm fortunate to be working alongside an outstanding District 6 staff who are deeply devoted to their roles. Kevon Stewart, Brother Kevon is my assistant, and Anita Bryan. Sister Anita is the new District 6 coordinator. Thank you for stepping up to come to the District 6 office. I'm happy to say that both Kev and Anita, both of them bring a lot of experience to the district office, and that's what we need. We have recently been going through quite a few changes to our servicing staff representatives through retirements. And that's okay, because to fill these roles, I'm happy to let you know that we hire staff who come from the shop floor and from within our membership, rank and file members. We do this because it's critical that our staff reps need the experience and activist background to do their busy jobs. And they're not easy jobs. We're building a solid team, a team that's ready to take on any challenges that may lie ahead. The appointments that we're making demonstrate our commitment to encouraging the participation and growth of activists from within our membership and the rank and file. And to me, this is crucial to ensuring that we stay true to our roots and tuned in to the working people we represent. So I'm happy about that. As steelworkers, we know that unions are a powerful vehicle for social progress. What's good for workers is good for society as a whole. When you have the opportunity to be part of a union, you have an outlet to enact meaningful change, change that matters. One thing that the pandemic highlighted for many people was how much we all need each other. This is a truth that union activists are deeply attuned to. Not only do we need each other, we're all happier and we're healthier when we're serving our communities. And that's why I always encourage members to get involved in the union. Get involved at all levels. You have the opportunity to do this through our ongoing education programs or by supporting a district committee. Our committees are important and they mean a lot to us, and they do outstanding work on a wide range of issues. I encourage locals and activists, please get involved in one of our committees in order to build the strength of our union, in order to advance social justice. And just because it feels good and you'll meet new people. Our Women of Steel Committee, they work on gender justice issues like pay equity and ending workplace harassment. Our Human Rights Committee focuses on developing policies related to equity and human rights. It brings together steelworkers working in the healthcare sector to share solutions to common challenges. Our Political Action Committee unites steelworkers from across Ontario and the Atlantic provinces to organize advocacy campaigns related to workers' rights and to mobilize our members during election campaigns. Speaking of election campaigns, we all know it's election year in Ontario. It's an important year. And people, workers across Ontario, deserve a government that will fight for them. I believe it's important that on June the 2nd, we elect leaders who will prioritize workers' rights, make it easier for workers to unionize, and strengthen collective bargaining so that workers can have a choice on the job. The Ontario NDP, they can make this happen. A better future for Ontario means stronger unions, mandated paid sick days, and livable wages. It means more opportunities for good quality jobs, reversing cuts to healthcare and education, and a post-pandemic recovery that benefits you, our members, workers, and their families. I can tell you we have 5 steelworkers running for re-election as Ontario NDP candidates and a stellar lineup of incumbent MPPs across the province. The Ontario NDP is well positioned to take the reins of the province, to undo the damage done by decades of Liberal and Conservative management. And I know that you, our members and our activists, will have your boots on the ground on election day, because as steelworkers, that's what we do. We come together. We make a difference to elect a party, our party, that has a strong track record of fighting for working people. If you're looking to get involved in an action, think about May the 1st, May Day. It's a traditional workers' holiday, a day where working people celebrate the gains that have been won over the years and where they recommit themselves to fighting for a better future for everyone. 20 locations across Ontario. There'll be events planned by the Ontario Federation of Labour, rallies, marches, and other events to mark the day of action. If you want to find out more about this, please visit ofl.ca. And a good news story is that we don't stop after the election. Whatever the outcome is, post-election, our work continues. As political advocacy is a year-round endeavor, and we don't stop. We're fighting for our members. We're fighting together for our members and for all workers every day. And we've had some big gains this year that will serve to make a huge difference in people's lives. Recently, Ford's PCs threatened to shut down our job action centers. They are a crucial and highly successful job adjustment program that helps laid-off workers find new employment. Together, we stopped that. The PC's plans to cut funding to these centers, and we ensured that they continue to provide community support and new employment to our members who find themselves out of work. It's a true victory for us that will bring some long overdue justice. Another victory for us is for many former miners, steelworker miners, and their families. And what I'm talking about is the success of the McIntyre Powder Campaign. Between 1943 and 1979, think about this, tens of thousands of Canadian workers were forced to earn a living, and before they went underground, to inhale a finely ground aluminum dust known as McIntyre powder. It wasn't optional. They had to do it as a condition of employment. The so-called therapy was an experimental medical treatment based on an unproven theory. Unfortunately, it made thousands of workers sick, and it killed many others. We're proud of the efforts that we've done to have the Ontario government recognize Parkinson's disease as a compensable illness for former miners. To date, Ontario is the only jurisdiction in Canada to recognize this disease as an occupational illness linked to workers' exposure to McIntyre powder. And this will result in many miners and their families finally getting long overdue compensation and justice that they deserve. One topic I'm really happy to talk about is bargaining in better times. I find that it's about time. It feels good that we're bargaining in better times. The pendulum has finally swung. It swung in favor of workers, in favor of labor at the bargaining table, and I'm sure you're seeing it like we're seeing it. We're pulling some of the best contracts that we've bargained in many years. And we should all be very proud of the victories that we've done together, and for our members, and for you who are achieving these good gains at the bargaining table. Our members have been working so hard and sacrificing and going into work every day throughout the pandemic. It's time they get paid back. I want to congratulate every local and all of our members who are fighting for and who are winning the good contracts they deserve. You deserve it. Thank you for putting in the work to make work better for everyone. Despite the challenges we've experienced over the past few years, I'm optimistic about the future of our union. I feel that while many corporations have exploited the pandemic and gotten richer, we're well positioned. We're well positioned to hold them accountable to our membership and to the working families who keep them afloat. As steelworkers, we know that strength in numbers is a powerful pathway to justice and change. I can tell you that while our membership numbers took a hit at the start of the pandemic, we doubled down and we renewed our focus on organizing in District 6. And we've had several great victories in organizing. One of them is ConMed, 4 nursing homes in Southern Ontario, 980 new workers that wanted to be steelworkers that joined our family, and now they are steelworkers. Our membership numbers are now higher than before the pandemic levels, and our organizing, our tireless efforts will continue. Galvanizing workers to come together to stand up for each other is a crucial part of what keeps our union strong. And I'm so excited to have started a series of plant tours across the district. I like to connect with our members and remind them that we're here for you like you're there for us. From healthcare workers, to sisters and brothers on assembly lines, to security guards, to miners, to every sector. Every single member matters to District 6 and to us. We come from all corners of our district, diversified, steelworkers. We're bound together with one key principle, solidarity. Our health matters. Our safety matters. Our wages matter. And it's through bringing our voices together and speaking up for the things that we all need, that's how we're heard. At the forefront of my mind when I visit various workplaces is the work that our members do every day, weekends, nights, shift work, and the health and safety has to be a priority of those members. And we have to continue to fight for our well-being and our right to stay safe on the job. It shouldn't be an ongoing struggle, but the work continues and we won't stop. A bad statistic is that an average of nearly 1,000 workers die each year across Canada. It's just not right. Workers are killed on the job or die as a result of occupational illness. Every single one of these deaths is preventable. Every single one of these deaths is unconscionable. As we look ahead to the day of mourning on April 28th and to the 30th anniversary of the Westray disaster, where 26 miners lost their lives in an explosion that shouldn't have happened, I can tell you that I know you will be thinking about these fallen workers as well. I'm thinking about every worker who died at Westray in 1992, as well as all those who have died across Canada every year after, and in every decade between then and now. Tens of thousands of lives lost while they were simply going to work to earn a living and do their jobs. Families completely devastated by these tragedies, where no amount of compensation ever being enough to fill the void left behind. We remember Westray every year so that we never forget to keep fighting. We won't stop until necessary protection is in place and every harmful chemical is out of our workplace and every safety precaution is followed. We honor their memories by fighting even harder to make sure that nobody else has to lose their health or their life while on the job. From honoring Westray and the day of mourning to touring our district and pitching in with the upcoming election, we're forging ahead with our new team. And much as we're looking back, we're looking forward. We're looking forward to a strong and a bright future for District 6 and for all steelworkers. We have a bright and proud history of defending workers' rights and showing up for each other. We do it time and time again. And the more we come together, through our education programs, through joining a committee, or through community engagement, the stronger we are together. So I encourage all members to get involved in whatever way works for you. We have so many different activities and events on the horizon. If you want to find out more about that, please visit our website and click Get Involved and check them out. And now I'm looking forward to answering some questions that have been coming in while I've been talking from our members. The first question that we have is a question from Sister Janet Moffat from Local 9042. And her question says, with all the uncertainty created by the ongoing pandemic, how should our local approach our upcoming negotiations? Should we delay the process until things are more settled? Sister Janet, I think that we should not delay any of our negotiations. The pandemic is somewhat behind us and we've moved forward. And bargaining is the most important time for our members and our locals. That's when we come together. That's when we're the closest. Every 3, 4, 5 years, our members are coming to the membership meetings. They got questions. They want answers. They've got a common goal. They want a fair deal. They want a solid collective agreement. They want to go home and talk to their spouse and their family about what the union did for them and what they achieved and the changes and improvements in the workplace. And the maximum leverage that we can have is to make sure that we hold the employers true to the expiry date of the collective agreement, where our members are engaged and we're talking to them and we're having their input and we're having our membership meetings and we're coming back to them with real results. And at the end of the day, it's one member, one vote. The membership decides what's right for them. And we'll get it done together, so I think that we should make sure we stay true to the expiry of our contracts as much as we can and bargain. It's a good time to bargain now, so let's make the gains we deserve. Okay, I got another question coming in from Local 5296, Brother Jordan Rago. Jordan asks, can any member participate on one of the District 6 committees? How does the process work? I can tell you, Brother Jordan, that anybody can join a committee as long as they have the support of the leadership of their local union. There's a lot of work that can be done on the various committees that I showed earlier. And the thing that's important about the committees to me is that they share so many common things. And that's why I think it'd be great for members of all ages to get involved in our committees, where we can learn from one another. And then there's common issues. How do we come together? How do we bring the Women's Committee together with the Political Action Committee and the Next Gen Committee? How do we make those integrated? Is there something we can do? And I can tell you that as the director working in our office with Kevin and Nita, one of the visions that we have is how do we make our committee stronger? Can we give them projects? Can we bring them together? We're working on bringing the heads of committees together over the next month or so. And we want to bring the heads of committees together to discuss this, because we can't figure it out ourselves at the district. We need the committees. We need the membership to work with us to figure this out, because I know that there's more work, there's better work. We can do more as committees. How do we do it together? By making our committees stronger and integrating them should be a good way to start. And the way to do that is to re-engage our committees, have new members, have new participants. So please get involved in whatever committee you think would be good for you. If you need more information, just call the district office and we can help you with that. Okay, I have a question here from Brother Steve Bailey. He's a unit chair of Local 7175, and Steve asks, what is our union doing to organize more workers? Well, Steve, I can tell you our union is out there and we are organizing steady. It's a tough go. We need the proper legislative laws from the proper government to help get this done. But we've been successful. We've been making gains. We've been making strides. And I can tell you that our district, we've got an organizing department with the lead organizer and several other organizers that work together. And the way we can organize is through you and through our members, talking to their family and friends and neighbors about the benefits that there are to being a steelworker and what it means and how you have a voice on the job and how you get to push for your working conditions and demand a good collective agreement, and how you don't have to go in every day by yourself and ask your supervisor, can I have a raise today? We do it for you collectively. So we've got an engaged organizing department. They're out there. We're organizing in every sector. Any leads that anybody has, please give them to our district office and we'll make sure we follow up on it, because after all, that's the lifeblood of our union is organizing, and we wouldn't be where we are today without it. The next question is from Local 13173 and Brother Chris Levitt. What are some key election issues that affect steelworkers in the upcoming Ontario election? I think some of the key issues, Brother Levitt, are things that matter to workers, things that matter to our members, collective bargaining power, strength in organizing, having a bigger voice in the workplace, improve legislation when it comes to anti-scab, and improving the rights of workers. There's a lot of social issues that are very important, that matter to all of us, and they always will. But as steelworkers, I think if we can engage our membership on the issues that matter to us, that's how we get to the polls. That's how we get to the vote out. That's how, by working with the boots on the ground, we maximize our steelworker vote, and we can make change in ridings where we can have laws that are put into place to address some of these things. Because we can't forget, our party's not perfect, but it's the best party that there is, and the best way to work with the party is to work from the inside with them to make sure that we address some of these issues. Brother Raul Gutierrez, Local 7536 President, he would like to know, to provide his best sports analogy on why and how unions are important at the workplace or in general. Wow, that's a long, I could talk on that one for a while, but I can tell you that unions give you a voice. I remember when I started at my first day and I got a collective agreement and it was explained to me, and I met my steward and I met my health and safety representative, and I had someone to go to and someone to talk to, and I felt part of something that was bigger. I felt part of a union, and I got active and I got engaged, and I got to see the changes that unions can make in the workplace and the important work that they do with health and safety, with stewards, the unmatched member-to-member education training that the steelworkers do. Take advantage of it. That's how you can make a real difference for you and for your coworkers. At the end of the day, I think the most important part of unions at our workplaces and in general is health and safety and collective bargaining. Collective bargaining is key, and that's how we keep our membership strong. We have an equal voice at the table, and we have the collective agreements that our members vote on and that we deserve. The next question is from Greg Rutherford, President of Local 5383. I've heard that it's a better time for bargaining, but I'm not clear about it. What gives workers an advantage right now? I think that the answer to this starts with there's a worker shortage. The pendulum swung into our right now. It swung to labor, and employers know that there's options for workers. They can move around. Inflation has gone high. We deserve more. We've gone to work every day through the pandemic. We haven't stopped. We showed up for you. It's time for you to show up for us. And our members know that by sticking together, now's the time to make the gains. They see the inflation rates at 6, 7, 8%, depending where you are. 2%, 3%, you're still falling behind. So I think that that's where we really make our gains now, because employers know that their cost of the products that they're selling is going up. They're making more money. Their profits are going up. We matter to them. They want to keep us. They need us now more than ever, so it's time to pay for it, and let's take advantage of bargaining in better times. This brings me to the end of our first News at 6 Live. It's been great spending some time with you this evening. Steelworkers, thank you for tuning in, and thank you to everyone who sent in the questions. I also want to say a very warm and kind thank you to the crew who helped put this together tonight, and I believe that they did an amazing job. We know there's a lot of work ahead of us. We know that when we work together, we will win. We can and will win. It's proven. And if I haven't met you, I'm looking forward to meeting you in the months and years to come. Be sure to get involved in your union. We are the union. You are the union. And you are what makes us strong. Thank you and have a good evening, Steelworkers. Solidarity.